Your body replaces every single cell in your heart every 20 days. Your liver completely regenerates in 150 days. Even your bones are brand new every 10 years. My friend, you are literally not the same person you were months ago. Yet somehow, we carry the same illnesses, the same pain, the same limitations. Why? Because we've forgotten the divine intelligence within. For over 40 years, I've studied the connection between mind, spirit, and body, not as a medical doctor, but as a student of the divine intelligence that created us. I've seen miracles happen not through complex treatments, but through simple recognition of what's already within you. You see, chronic health issues that doctors can't fully explain or cure, that feeling of powerlessness and dependence on external remedies, that frustration with recurring symptoms and slow healing, that fear and anxiety about your body's ability to recover, that disconnection from your inner wisdom and natural healing capacity, all of this stems from one fundamental misunderstanding. We've been taught that healing requires expensive treatments or complex protocols. We've been told the body naturally deteriorates with age, that chronic conditions are permanent, that healing power exists outside of us. My dear friend, these are not truths. These are limitations we've accepted that have nothing to do with the magnificent reality of who you are. By the end of our time together, you'll understand how to work with your body's innate healing wisdom instead of against it. You'll have practical tools to activate this intelligence daily. Most importantly, you'll never again feel helpless about your health, because you'll remember the truth: you are already whole. Let me tell you about a garden. There once was a man who inherited a beautiful piece of land from his grandfather. This land had once been a thriving garden, but the man knew nothing about gardening. He was a city person, used to concrete and buildings. When spring came and weeds started growing everywhere, he panicked. He thought, "I must fight these weeds." So he bought the strongest chemicals he could find and sprayed everything. The weeds died, but so did many of the good plants. The soil became hard and lifeless. Summer came, and more weeds appeared. Again he fought them with harsh chemicals. Again, he killed not just the weeds, but damaged the very earth that was trying to support life. By autumn, his land looked like a wasteland. Nothing would grow. The man sat in despair, wondering what he'd done wrong. The neighbors shook their heads as they passed by. Some offered advice, but most of it involved more fighting, more chemicals, more war against nature. The man tried everything they suggested. He bought expensive equipment. He hired professional services. He read books about combat gardening. Nothing worked. In fact, the more he fought, the worse everything became. Then one day, an old gardener walked by. This man had calloused hands and dirt under his fingernails. His back was bent from years of honest work in the earth. He looked at the barren land and shook his head sadly. "Son," he said, "you've been fighting nature instead of working with her. This earth has intelligence. It knows how to balance itself, how to bring forth life, how to heal. But you've been at war with the very force that could help you." The younger man was desperate. "But the weeds," he said, "they were taking over everything." The old gardener smiled. "Son, those weeds you've been fighting? Many of them were trying to heal your soil. Some weeds bring nutrients up from deep in the earth. Others break up compacted soil with their roots. Still others attract beneficial insects. You've been destroying the very plants that were trying to restore your land." Over the following months, the old gardener taught him about soil, about seasons, about the wisdom that already existed in the earth. He showed him how to feed the soil with compost instead of poisoning it with chemicals. He taught him about companion planting, where different plants help each other grow. He explained how to observe the land's natural rhythms and work with them instead of against them. The old gardener showed him how to read the signs. Yellow leaves might mean too much water or not enough nutrients. Wilting could indicate root problems or heat stress. Brown spots might suggest fungal issues or pest damage. But instead of immediately attacking these symptoms, the old gardener taught him to ask, "What is the land trying to tell me? What does it need to restore balance?" The transformation didn't happen overnight. The young man had to learn patience. He had to trust processes he couldn't see. When he planted seeds, he had to have faith that the invisible intelligence in the soil knew how to make them grow. When beneficial insects appeared, he had to resist the urge to spray them away. When the land went through natural cycles of growth and rest, he had to honor those rhythms, instead of demanding constant production. The next year, that same piece of land became a garden more beautiful than his grandfather's had ever been. Vegetables grew larger and healthier than any he'd seen in the stores. Flowers bloomed in abundant colors. Birds and butterflies returned. The soil itself became rich and dark and alive. But here's the most remarkable part. The young man realized that the healing intelligence had been there all along. It wasn't something he had to create or purchase or learn from books. It was already present in the earth, waiting for him to stop interfering and start cooperating. Your body, my friend, is like that garden. It has an intelligence, a divine wisdom, that knows exactly how to heal, how to balance, how to restore itself to perfect health. But so many of us have been fighting our bodies instead of working with them. We've been at war with the very intelligence that could heal us. Just like that young gardener, we panic when symptoms appear. We immediately reach for the strongest treatments we can find, often without asking what our body is trying to tell us. We fight the fever, instead of recognizing it might be our immune system working to burn out infection. We suppress the cough, instead of understanding it might be our body's way of clearing toxins. We numb the pain instead of listening to what it's trying to communicate. This reminds me of my own healing crisis many years ago. I had developed what doctors called a chronic digestive condition. The symptoms were uncomfortable and embarrassing. I couldn't eat many foods without distress. I felt weak and tired much of the time. Sleep became difficult because of the discomfort. For months, I fought it. I tried every treatment, every medication, every technique I could find. I went from doctor to doctor, collecting diagnoses and prescriptions. I was angry at my body, frustrated with its weakness, determined to force it back to health. I saw my digestive system as defective, broken, something that needed to be fixed or controlled. The harder I fought, the worse I felt. The medications gave me side effects. The restrictive diets left me malnourished. The stress of constantly battling my own body created even more inflammation and digestive distress. I was caught in a cycle of fighting that only made everything worse. I remember one particular night when the symptoms were especially severe. I lay in bed, frustrated and exhausted, wondering why my body was betraying me. I had always taken good care of myself. I exercised regularly, ate healthy foods, maintained good habits. So why was this happening to me? In that moment of despair, something shifted. A quiet voice inside me asked a simple question. What if your body isn't your enemy? What if it's trying to help you? The question surprised me. How could pain and discomfort be helpful? How could illness be anything other than an attack on my well-being? But I was tired of fighting. I was exhausted from the war I'd been waging against my own flesh. So I decided to try something different. Instead of fighting the discomfort, I began to listen to it. Instead of demanding my body perform, I began to ask what it needed. I placed my hands gently on my stomach and spoke to it like a dear friend. What are you trying to tell me? I asked. At first, there was only silence. I was so used to talking at my body, commanding it, fighting it, that the idea of listening to it felt foreign. But I persisted. Night after night, I would place my hands on my abdomen and ask, "What do you need? What are you trying to tell me?" Gradually, in the quiet of my heart, I began to hear answers. My body had been trying to slow me down. I had been pushing too hard, working too much, worrying constantly about things beyond my control. The digestive issues were my body's way of forcing me to pay attention to what I was consuming, not just food, but thoughts, emotions, stress, anxiety. I realized I had been eating not just unhealthy foods, but unhealthy thoughts. I had been digesting worry and fear along with my meals. I had been consuming stress and anxiety like they were daily bread. My digestive system was responding to all of this toxic input the only way it knew how, by creating discomfort that would force me to change. Once I understood this, everything began to shift. Instead of fighting my symptoms, I began to work with them. When my stomach felt tight, instead of immediately taking medication, I would ask, what am I worried about right now? What stress am I carrying that doesn't belong to me? When certain foods caused discomfort, instead of just avoiding them, I would examine what was happening in my life when I ate them. Was I eating in a hurry? Was I upset about something? Was I not chewing properly because my mind was elsewhere? I began to see that my digestive system wasn't broken at all. It was incredibly sensitive and intelligent, responding not just to the physical food I gave it, but to my entire internal environment. When I was calm and grateful, my digestion was smooth and easy. When I was stressed and anxious, my digestive system reflected that chaos. From that night forward, I stopped fighting my body and started partnering with it. I listened to its signals with curiosity instead of frustration. I rested when it asked for rest. I ate what truly nourished it, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. I gave it love instead of criticism, appreciation instead of anger. Most importantly, I began to address the underlying stress and worry that had been creating the digestive chaos in the first place. I learned to say no to commitments that drained my energy. I developed practices for releasing anxiety before meals. I created peaceful environments for eating, free from the television news and work conversations that had been poisoning my digestion. Within weeks, my so-called chronic condition simply disappeared, not because I conquered it, but because I finally worked with the healing intelligence that had been there all along. My body had never been my enemy. It had been my most faithful friend, trying desperately to get my attention so it could help me live better. This experience taught me something profound. Our bodies are constantly communicating with us, but we've forgotten how to listen. We've been taught to see symptoms as attacks rather than communications, as problems rather than information. Have you ever watched a child get a cut? It's the most beautiful demonstration of divine intelligence you'll ever see. The child doesn't think about healing. They don't worry whether their skin knows how to repair itself. They don't doubt the process. They simply trust that their body knows what to do. And it does. I remember watching my young nephew fall off his bicycle one summer day. He scraped his knee pretty badly, and there was quite a bit of blood. After the initial tears and comforting, something remarkable happened. The child forgot all about the injury and went back to playing. But his body didn't forget. The moment the cut happened, an incredible orchestration began. Blood platelets rushed to the wound like tiny soldiers, responding to a battle cry. They began forming a protective clot to stop the bleeding. White blood cells mobilized to fight any bacteria that might have entered the wound. Chemical messengers were sent throughout his system, calling for reinforcements and resources. New skin cells began forming immediately, even before the bleeding had completely stopped. Specialized cells called fibroblasts started producing collagen to rebuild the damaged tissue. Blood vessels began growing new branches to supply nutrients to the healing area. The entire immune system shifted into high gear, focused on protecting and repairing this one small injury. The child's body didn't need instructions or medication or complicated procedures. It didn't need to understand the biochemistry of healing or the anatomy of skin repair. It just healed, perfectly, automatically. Because that's what bodies do when we don't interfere with their natural intelligence. Within days, the wound was closed. Within weeks, you could barely see where the injury had been. The child never doubted for a moment that his body knew how to heal itself. He didn't wake up each morning checking to see if the healing was progressing fast enough. He didn't worry that his skin might forget how to repair itself. He simply trusted the process. But as adults, we've learned to doubt this process. We've been taught that healing is complicated, that our bodies are fragile, that we need external help for every little thing. We've forgotten the miracle that we are. We look at a simple cut and see a problem that needs solving. The child looks at the same cut and trusts it will heal. We focus on the wound. The child focuses on getting back to play. We worry about infection and scarring. The child trusts his body's wisdom to handle whatever needs handling. Which approach do you think supports healing better? The anxious monitoring and doubt, or the relaxed trust in the body's intelligence? The answer is obvious when we watch children, but somehow we forget this wisdom as we grow older. I once worked with a woman who had lived with chronic pain for over 10 years. Her name was Margaret, and she came to one of my lectures, bent over, walking with a cane, convinced her body had betrayed her. She sat in the front row, and I could see the pain etched in every line of her face. After my talk, she approached me with tears in her eyes. "Dr. Murphy," she said, "I've tried everything. Physical therapy, medications, injections, surgery. Nothing helps. My body is broken. It hurts all the time. I think it hates me." I looked at this dear woman, seeing not just her physical pain but the deeper anguish of feeling abandoned by her own body. "Margaret," I said gently, "what if your body doesn't hate you? What if it loves you so much that it's been trying to get your attention the only way it knows how?" She looked at me like I was crazy. "Pain is love?" she asked, her voice filled with disbelief. "Pain is communication," I replied. "Your body is trying to tell you something important. Instead of fighting the message, what if we listen to it?" Over the next hour, we talked about her life, her stress, her relationships, her fears. Slowly, a picture began to emerge. Margaret's pain had started during a period of tremendous emotional difficulty. Her husband had left her after 25 years of marriage. Her elderly mother had moved in with her, requiring constant care. She had lost her job due to company downsizing. All of these changes had happened within a 6-month period. "I had to be strong for everyone," she told me. "I couldn't break down. I couldn't show weakness. I had to keep going no matter what." And that's exactly what she had done. She had pushed through the grief, the anger, the fear, the overwhelming responsibility. She had carried everyone else's needs on her shoulders while ignoring her own. Her body had been trying to tell her to slow down, to address the grief she'd been carrying, to take care of herself in ways she'd been neglecting. But she had been so focused on being strong for others that she couldn't hear what her own body was trying to say. The pain in her back wasn't just physical. It was the weight of carrying burdens that weren't meant to be carried alone. The stiffness in her joints wasn't just age. It was the rigidity she'd developed to protect herself from feeling too much. The constant ache wasn't just wear and tear. It was her body's way of crying the tears she wouldn't let herself shed. When Margaret began to understand this, something remarkable happened. For the first time in years, she started crying. Not tears of pain and frustration, but tears of relief and recognition. Her body wasn't punishing her. It was trying to help her heal from emotional wounds that ran much deeper than any physical injury. We talked about what her body might need beyond medical treatment. Rest, certainly, but also emotional support. Time to grieve the end of her marriage. Help caring for her mother, so she wouldn't have to carry that burden alone. Permission to feel angry and sad and scared instead of always having to be strong. When she left that day, she was standing straighter. The pain hadn't completely disappeared, but something fundamental had shifted. She'd stopped seeing her body as the enemy and started seeing it as a friend trying to help her. She'd stopped fighting the pain and started listening to what it was trying to tell her. I received a letter from Margaret 6 months later. She enclosed a photograph of herself hiking in the mountains, smiling broadly, no cane in sight. "Dear Dr. Murphy," she wrote, "I wanted you to know that I'm pain-free for the first time in over a decade. But more than that, I'm free in ways I never imagined possible. My body wasn't broken, I was. And once I started listening to what it was trying to tell me, everything began to heal." Margaret's story illustrates something I've seen thousands of times. The body is always working for us, never against us. Even when we're experiencing symptoms, even when we're in pain, even when we're sick, our body is doing its absolute best to bring us back to balance, to wholeness, to health. But here's another story that shows how quickly things can change when we remember this truth. I was giving a lecture in Chicago many years ago when a man in the audience suddenly stood up during my talk. He was clearly in distress, holding his chest, breathing heavily. "I think I'm having a heart attack," he said, his voice filled with panic. The audience began to murmur with concern. Someone called for an ambulance. But I felt led to approach this man with a different perspective. "Sir," I said gently, walking toward him. What if your heart isn't attacking you? What if it's trying to get your attention about something important? He looked at me with wide, frightened eyes. What do you mean? Your heart has been beating faithfully for you every moment of your life, I continued. It has never missed a beat. It has never failed you. What if instead of attacking you, it's trying to tell you something you need to hear? I guided him to a chair and asked him to place his hand on his heart. Feel that beating, I said. That's not an attack, that's love in action, that's divine intelligence working perfectly in your body. Thank your heart for its faithful service, and ask it what it needs from you. The man closed his eyes and took a deep breath. After a moment, his breathing began to slow. The color returned to his face. It's saying I need to slow down, he whispered. I've been pushing too hard, working too much, worrying about everything. And how does your heart feel now? I asked. He paused, his hand still on his chest. Better, he said with surprise. Much better. The pain is almost gone. The ambulance arrived, and I encouraged him to get checked by medical professionals to rule out any serious issues. But the episode had passed. The test showed no signs of heart attack or serious cardiac problems. His heart had been trying to get his attention about stress and lifestyle, and once he listened and responded with love instead of fear, his body quickly returned to balance. These stories reveal a pattern. There's a common thread running through every healing I've witnessed. And it's so simple, most people miss it. The healing intelligence is already present. It's not something you need to find or create or earn. It's something you need to remember and allow. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because this is the foundation of everything. Your body is a self-healing organism by design. Every function that keeps you alive happens through infinite intelligence. Your heart beats without your conscious effort, about 100,000 times per day, pumping over 2,000 gallons of blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels. Your lungs breathe without your direction, taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide through a complex system that would make the finest engineers marvel. Your digestive system processes food without your instruction, breaking down complex nutrients and distributing them to trillions of cells throughout your body. Your immune system fights infections without your awareness, producing antibodies, mobilizing white blood cells, and maintaining a sophisticated defense network that protects you from countless threats every single day. Your nervous system coordinates communication between every part of your body through electrical impulses that travel at speeds of up to 250 miles per hour. Your cells regenerate without your planning. Right now, as you listen to these words, your body is creating 25 million new cells every second. Your liver is filtering toxins from your blood. Your kidneys are producing urine to remove waste. Your skin is shedding old cells and growing new ones. Your hair and nails are growing. Your bones are constantly breaking down and rebuilding themselves to stay strong. All of this happens through an intelligence so vast, so perfect, so loving, that we can barely comprehend it. This same intelligence that beats your heart and grows your hair and heals your cuts while you sleep, this intelligence knows exactly how to heal whatever is wrong with your body. Healing is the natural state, not the exception. But here's what happens. We get afraid. We start worrying. We begin to fight and resist and try to control. And all of that fear and fighting creates tension that blocks the very healing we're seeking. Your subconscious mind knows the way back to perfect health, but our conscious mind often gets in the way with its doubts and fears and impatience. Think about it this way. When you have a cold, you don't have to consciously direct your white blood cells to the site of infection. You don't have to tell your body how to make antibodies that specifically target the virus that's invaded your system. You don't have to instruct your nose how to produce mucus to trap and eliminate the invaders, or tell your throat how to cough up the debris. Your body's intelligence handles all of this automatically, perfectly, without any conscious input from you. It knows exactly which white blood cells to send, what type of antibodies to produce, how much fever to create to make your body inhospitable to the virus, when to make you sleep so energy can be redirected to healing. The same intelligence that heals a cold can heal anything, if we don't interfere with its work. The same wisdom that mends a broken bone can mend a broken heart. The same power that fights off infections can eliminate cancer cells. The same love that grows a baby from a single cell can restore any part of your body to perfect health. This brings me to one of the most important principles I can share with you. What you resist persists, what you accept transforms. When we fight our symptoms, when we hate our pain, when we're angry at our bodies, we create resistance. And resistance blocks the flow of healing energy. Let me explain what I mean by resistance. Resistance is the mental and emotional tension we create when we refuse to accept what island. It's the inner struggle we engage in when reality doesn't match our expectations or desires. It's the energy we waste fighting against circumstances instead of working with them. When you have a headache, and spend your energy hating the headache, wishing it would go away, fighting against the discomfort, you create resistance. That resistance actually increases the tension in your head and neck, making the headache worse. But when you accept the headache as information from your body, when you ask what it's trying to tell you, when you respond with curiosity instead of anger, the resistance dissolves and healing can begin. I don't mean passive resignation. I'm not suggesting you ignore serious health issues or avoid medical care when needed. I'm talking about active acceptance, working with your body instead of against it, listening instead of demanding, trusting instead of fearing. Let me explain the difference. Passive resignation says, I'm sick, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'll just suffer through this and hope it eventually goes away. This attitude creates hopelessness and actually weakens the immune system. Active acceptance says, my body is communicating with me through this symptom, and I'm willing to listen and work with its intelligence to restore balance. I'll take appropriate action while trusting my body's wisdom to heal. This attitude creates hope and strengthens the body's natural healing responses. Passive resignation gives up. Active acceptance partners with the divine intelligence within. Passive resignation sees the body as broken and helpless. Active acceptance sees the body as intelligent and capable. Passive resignation waits for someone else to fix the problem. Active acceptance participates in the healing process. When you stop fighting your body and start accepting its wisdom, something miraculous happens. The tension releases. The stress hormones that were flooding your system begin to subside. Your breathing deepens. Your muscles relax. Your nervous system shifts from fight or flight mode to rest and repair mode. And healing energy can flow freely again. This is what I mean by getting out of the way. You don't have to make your body heal. You don't have to figure out how to fix every problem. You don't have to control every aspect of the healing process. You simply have to stop interfering with the intelligence that already knows how to heal. Your body is always working for you, never against you. Even when you're experiencing symptoms, even when you're in pain, even when you're sick, your body is doing its absolute best to bring you back to health. It's trying to communicate with you, to show you what needs attention, to guide you toward healing. Every symptom is your body's language, and once you learn to understand this language, everything changes. Fatigue might be saying, please rest, I need time to repair and regenerate. You've been pushing too hard, and I need you to slow down so I can do my work. Instead of fighting the fatigue with caffeine and stimulants, you honor your body's request for rest. Digestive issues might be saying, pay attention to how different foods make you feel, not just immediately, but hours later. Your body will tell you what serves it and what doesn't, if you listen. Some foods will give you sustained energy and mental clarity. Others will make you feel sluggish or agitated. Some will digest easily and leave you feeling satisfied. Others will create discomfort or cravings for more. Your body is constantly giving you feedback about what supports your health and what undermines it. But most of us have been conditioned to ignore these signals and follow external rules about what we should or shouldn't eat, rather than trusting our body's wisdom. When you exercise, approach it as a celebration of your body's capabilities rather than a punishment for what you've eaten or how you look. Move in ways that feel good to your body. If your joints are asking for gentle stretching, honor that request. If your muscles are craving strength training, provide that opportunity. If your cardiovascular system needs aerobic activity, find a way to give it what it needs. Exercise doesn't have to be formal or structured to be beneficial. Dancing in your living room, playing with children, gardening, walking in nature, swimming, yoga, Any movement that brings you joy and serves your body's needs is perfect exercise. Listen to your body's signals during exercise. If something hurts in a sharp or concerning way, stop and investigate. If you feel energized and strong, continue. If you feel exhausted, rather than invigorated, after exercise, you may be pushing too hard or not allowing enough recovery time. Your body wants to move, wants to be strong, wants to be flexible and capable. Work with these natural desires rather than forcing yourself through punishing routines that create more stress than benefit. Before you go to sleep each night, spend a few minutes in what I call divine intelligence affirmation. This is the most powerful healing practice I can share with you. Lie quietly in your bed and repeat these words, either out loud or silently. The infinite intelligence that created my body knows exactly how to heal it perfectly. I trust this intelligence completely. I work with it, not against it. I release all resistance and allow perfect healing to flow through every cell of my being. As you say these words, visualize healing light flowing through your entire body. See it as golden, warm light that carries perfect intelligence, perfect love, perfect restoration to every part of your being. Watch this light entering through the top of your head and flowing down through your brain, bringing clarity and peace to every thought. See the healing light flowing into your eyes, bringing perfect vision and brightness. Feel it moving into your ears, bringing perfect hearing and balance. Visualize it flowing into your throat, bringing clear communication and easy breathing. Watch the light pour into your heart, filling it with love and strength, supporting perfect circulation throughout your entire body. See it flowing into your lungs, bringing deep, easy breathing and perfect oxygenation of your blood. Feel the healing light moving into your digestive system, bringing perfect assimilation of nutrients and easy elimination of waste. Visualize it flowing into your liver, supporting perfect detoxification and regeneration. See it moving into your kidneys, bringing perfect filtration and balance. Watch the light flow into your reproductive system, bringing perfect balance and function. Feel it moving into your immune system, strengthening your natural defenses against illness and disease. See it flowing into your nervous system, bringing perfect coordination and communication throughout your body. Visualize the healing light moving into your muscles, bringing strength and flexibility. See it flowing into your bones, bringing perfect structure and support. Feel it moving into your skin, bringing perfect protection and regeneration. Don't worry about whether you're doing it right or visualizing perfectly. There's no wrong way to connect with the divine intelligence within you. Your sincere intention to work with your body's wisdom is all that's needed. The intelligence itself will guide you from there. As you practice this consistently, you'll be amazed at the results. Not just physical healing, but a completely different relationship with your body. Instead of fear and frustration, you'll feel love and trust. Instead of fighting against illness, you'll be partnering with wellness. Instead of feeling helpless about your health, you'll know that you have access to the greatest healing power in the universe. Let me share with you another story that demonstrates the power of working with your body's intelligence rather than against it. I once knew a woman named Sarah, who had been diagnosed with a serious autoimmune condition. Her doctors told her that her immune system was attacking her own body, destroying healthy tissue, and that she would need to take powerful medications for the rest of her life to suppress her immune system. Sarah was devastated. She couldn't understand why her body would turn against itself. She felt betrayed by the very system that was supposed to protect her. The medications made her feel weak and vulnerable to every cold and flu that came along. When Sarah came to see me, she was angry and confused. "Dr. Murphy," she said, "my own immune system is trying to kill me. How can I trust my body when it's literally attacking itself?" I listened to her story with great compassion. Then I asked her a question that surprised her. "Sarah, what if your immune system isn't attacking you? What if it's trying to protect you from something it perceives as a threat?" She looked at me skeptically. "What do you mean?" I explained that autoimmune conditions often develop when the immune system becomes overactive in response to chronic stress, toxins, infections, or emotional trauma. Instead of seeing her immune system as defective or malicious, what if we saw it as an incredibly intelligent system that had been working overtime to protect her? We began to explore what might be triggering her immune system's protective response. Sarah revealed that her symptoms had started during a period of extreme stress at work. She had been putting in 12-hour days, eating poorly, sleeping little, and dealing with a toxic boss who criticized everything she did. I felt under attack all the time, she told me. I never felt safe or relaxed. I was always on guard, always defending myself. And your immune system was mirroring that state, I suggested. It was on high alert just like you were. It was trying to protect you from what it perceived as constant threats. We worked together to help Sarah understand that her immune system wasn't her enemy, it was her most faithful protector, working so hard to keep her safe that it had become overactive. Instead of suppressing it with medications, what if she could calm it by addressing the underlying triggers? Sarah began making changes in her life. She left a toxic work environment and found a job that honored her contributions. She started eating nourishing foods and getting adequate sleep. She learned stress management techniques and began practicing daily meditation. Most importantly, she changed her relationship with her immune system. Instead of seeing it as an attacker, she began to see it as a protector that needed her support and guidance. She started talking to her immune system with love and gratitude. "Thank you for working so hard to protect me," she would say. "You can relax now. I'm safe. I'm taking better care of myself. You don't have to be on high alert anymore." The transformation didn't happen overnight, but it was steady and profound. As Sarah's stress levels decreased and her overall health improved, her immune system began to calm down. The inflammation in her body reduced. Her energy returned. Her symptoms gradually disappeared. Within 2 years, with her doctor's supervision, Sarah was able to stop taking all her medications. Her blood tests showed no signs of autoimmune activity. She had worked with her body's intelligence instead of against it, and her immune system had returned to its natural state of balanced protection. This story illustrates a crucial point. Our bodies are always doing their best to serve our highest good, even when their efforts seem misguided or harmful. When we understand this, and work with our body's intelligence, rather than against it, healing becomes possible in ways that seem miraculous but are actually natural. Let me tell you about another powerful healing that demonstrates the incredible intelligence within your body. I once met a man named Robert, who had been dealing with high blood pressure for many years. His doctors had prescribed multiple medications, but his blood pressure remained dangerously elevated, despite the treatments. Robert was frustrated and scared. His father had died of a heart attack at a young age, and Robert was terrified that the same fate awaited him. He came to me asking if there was anything else he could do, besides taking more and stronger medications. "Robert," I said, "your blood pressure isn't just a random malfunction. Your cardiovascular system is incredibly intelligent. What if your high blood pressure is your body's way of trying to solve a problem?" He looked puzzled. "What kind of problem?" I explained that blood pressure often rises when the body perceives that vital organs aren't getting enough oxygen and nutrients. The heart works harder, and the blood vessels constrict to ensure that the brain, kidneys, and other essential organs receive what they need to function. Instead of just trying to lower your blood pressure with medications, I suggested, what if we asked your cardiovascular system what it needs to function optimally? We began exploring Robert's lifestyle and health habits. It turned out that he had been living with chronic dehydration for years, drinking mostly coffee and soft drinks instead of water. His diet was high in processed foods and low in fresh fruits and vegetables. He got very little exercise and spent most of his day sitting at a desk. Most significantly, Robert was carrying enormous stress from his job and his relationships. He felt constant pressure to perform, to please others, to meet impossible expectations. His nervous system was in a state of chronic fight or flight, pumping stress hormones into his bloodstream day and night. "Your heart is working so hard because it's trying to overcome all these obstacles," I explained. "The dehydration makes your blood thicker and harder to pump. The poor nutrition means your blood vessels aren't getting the nutrients they need to stay healthy and flexible. The lack of exercise means your heart isn't as strong as it could be. And the chronic stress is flooding your system with hormones that make your blood vessels constrict." Robert began to see his high blood pressure not as a disease, but as his body's intelligent response to challenging circumstances. His cardiovascular system was doing its best to keep him alive and healthy despite the difficult conditions he was creating. He started making changes. He began drinking plenty of pure water every day. He improved his diet, focusing on fresh, whole foods that nourished his blood vessels and heart. He started taking daily walks, gradually building up his cardiovascular fitness. Most importantly, he began addressing the stress in his life. He learned to say no to unreasonable demands. He started practicing relaxation techniques. He began to see that his worth as a person wasn't dependent on his ability to please everyone around him. As he made these changes, Robert started talking to his cardiovascular system with appreciation instead of fear. "Thank you for working so hard to keep me alive," he would say. "I'm giving you better conditions now. You can relax and function normally." Within 6 months, Robert's blood pressure had normalized completely. He was able to reduce his medications under his doctor's supervision and eventually eliminated them entirely. His cardiovascular system had returned to optimal function once he addressed the underlying causes and worked with his body's intelligence. Years later, Robert told me that this experience had transformed his entire approach to health. Instead of seeing symptoms as enemies to be defeated, he now saw them as communications from his body's wisdom. Instead of just treating problems after they developed, he focused on creating conditions that supported his body's natural functions. These stories demonstrate something profound about the nature of healing. Your body is not a machine that randomly breaks down and needs to be fixed by outside experts. It's a living, intelligent system that's constantly working to maintain balance and health. When symptoms appear, instead of immediately trying to suppress them, ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? What does it need from me? How can I support its natural healing processes? Sometimes the answer will be rest. Sometimes it will be better nutrition. Sometimes it will be more movement or less stress. Sometimes it will be addressing emotional issues that have been affecting your physical health. Sometimes it will be seeking appropriate medical care while also supporting your body's natural healing. The key is to approach your body as a partner in healing, not as a problem to be solved. Trust its intelligence. Listen to its signals. Work with its natural processes rather than against them. Now let me teach you a specific technique for communicating with different parts of your body when they need healing attention. This practice has helped thousands of people access their body's wisdom directly. When you're experiencing discomfort or symptoms in any part of your body, try this approach. First, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down comfortably and take several deep, relaxing breaths. Place your hands gently on the area that needs attention. If it's internal, like your stomach or heart, place your hands on the corresponding area of your body. Close your eyes and focus your attention on that part of your body. Instead of focusing on the pain or discomfort, focus on the intelligence within that area. Remember that this part of your body has been serving you faithfully, working constantly to maintain your health and well-being. Speak to this part of your body with love and respect. You might say something like, "Dear liver, thank you for all the work you do to keep me healthy. Thank you for filtering toxins and producing the compounds I need. What do you need from me to function perfectly?" Then listen. Don't expect dramatic voices or mystical experiences. The communication usually comes as gentle impressions, feelings, images, or simply knowing. You might sense that your liver needs more pure water to help with detoxification. You might feel that it needs you to reduce alcohol or processed foods. You might get an impression that it needs more rest or less stress. Trust what you receive. Your body's intelligence is always working for your highest good, and it knows exactly what it needs to function optimally. You can use this technique with any part of your body. Speak to your heart about what it needs to stay strong and healthy. Ask your digestive system what foods serve it best. Inquire with your muscles about what kind of movement they're craving. Communicate with your immune system about how you can best support its protective work. This isn't fantasy or imagination. This is practical communication with the intelligence that has been keeping you alive and healthy your entire life. The more you practice this kind of loving dialogue with your body, the more clearly you'll be able to understand its needs and support its healing processes. Here's another powerful practice that can transform your health: the daily body appreciation meditation. This practice involves systematically sending love and gratitude to every part of your body, from your head to your toes. Begin by sitting or lying in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and take several deep, relaxing breaths. Starting at the top of your head, slowly move your attention through your entire body, pausing at each area to send love and appreciation. Thank you, brain, for coordinating all the functions of my body. Thank you for processing information, storing memories, and maintaining consciousness. I appreciate your incredible complexity and intelligence. Thank you, eyes, for the gift of sight. Thank you for allowing me to see the beauty of the world, the faces of loved ones, the colors of nature. I am grateful for your perfect function. Thank you, ears, for the gift of hearing. Thank you for allowing me to enjoy music, hear the voices of those I love, and stay alert to my environment. I appreciate your sensitivity and precision. Continue this process through your entire body. Thank your nose for breathing and smelling. Thank your mouth for tasting and speaking. Thank your neck for supporting your head and allowing movement. Thank your shoulders for carrying burdens and expressing emotions. Thank your arms for reaching, embracing, and accomplishing tasks. Thank your hands for their incredible dexterity and sensitivity. Thank your heart for its constant, faithful beating. Thank your lungs for breathing life into your body. Thank your stomach for digesting food and providing nourishment. Thank your liver for its hundreds of functions in maintaining your health. Thank your kidneys for filtering and balancing. Thank your intestines for absorption and elimination. Thank your spine for providing structure and protecting your nervous system. Thank your hips for stability and movement. Thank your legs for carrying you through life. Thank your feet for supporting you and keeping you grounded. As you practice this regularly, you'll notice a profound shift in your relationship with your body. Instead of taking its functions for granted or criticizing its appearance, you'll develop a deep appreciation for the miracle of your physical existence. This appreciation creates a healing energy that flows throughout your entire system. Your body responds to love and gratitude by functioning more efficiently, healing more quickly, and maintaining better health. Let me share one more story that demonstrates the power of working with your body's intelligence. I once knew a woman named Maria who had been struggling with insomnia for many years. She would lie in bed for hours, unable to fall asleep, then wake up multiple times during the night. Maria had tried sleeping pills, but they left her feeling groggy and unrefreshed. She had tried various sleep techniques and supplements, but nothing seemed to work consistently. She came to me exhausted and frustrated, wondering if she would ever sleep normally again. "Maria," I said, "your body knows exactly how to sleep. You've been doing it since you were born. What if your insomnia isn't a malfunction but a message?" She looked at me with tired eyes. "What kind of message?" "Your body might be trying to tell you that something needs to be processed before it can rest," I suggested. "Sleep is when your mind and body repair and restore themselves. If there are things that need attention, your system might be staying alert until they're addressed." We began exploring what might be keeping Maria's system in a state of alert. It turned out that she had been dealing with significant anxiety about her aging parents, financial pressures at work, and unresolved grief from a recent loss. "I try not to think about these things during the day," she told me. "I stay busy and distracted. But at night, when everything gets quiet, my mind starts racing with all the things I've been avoiding." "Your body is wise," I explained. "It knows that these issues need attention, and it's creating space for them to surface. Instead of fighting the sleeplessness, what if you honored what your body is trying to help you process?" Maria began setting aside time during the day to address the concerns that were surfacing at night. She started journaling about her feelings, having honest conversations with family members about care arrangements for her parents, and seeking support for her grief. Most importantly, she changed her relationship with her sleeplessness. Instead of lying in bed frustrated and angry, she began to see wakeful periods as opportunities for gentle processing and release. When she couldn't sleep, instead of tossing and turning, she would breathe deeply and ask, "What do you need me to know right now?" What are you trying to help me process? Sometimes, insights would come. Sometimes emotions would surface that needed to be felt and released. She started keeping a journal by her bedside, and would write down whatever came up during these wakeful periods. Often, after acknowledging and expressing what needed attention, she would find herself naturally drifting off to sleep. Within a few months, Maria's sleep normalized completely. Her body had helped her process and release the emotional burdens that had been keeping her system on high alert. Once those issues were addressed, her natural sleep patterns returned. I never thought insomnia could be helpful, she told me later. But my body was actually trying to help me heal emotionally. Once I listened to what it was trying to tell me, both my sleep and my emotional well-being improved dramatically. This story illustrates another important principle. Sometimes what appears to be a health problem is actually your body's intelligent attempt to help you address something that needs attention. When we work with these messages instead of simply trying to eliminate the symptoms, we often discover that our bodies are far wiser than we realized. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with the most important truth I've learned in my decades of studying the mind-body connection. Your body is not separate from you. It's not something you have, it's something you are. It's not a vehicle you're riding in. It's an expression of your consciousness in physical form. The intelligence that beats your heart is the same intelligence that forms your thoughts. The love that heals your wounds is the same love that connects you to all of life. The power that regenerates your cells is the same power that creates galaxies and grows flowers and brings new life into being. You are not a victim of your body's limitations. You are not at the mercy of random diseases or genetic predispositions. You are not helpless in the face of aging or illness. You are a spiritual being, expressing yourself through a physical form, and that physical form is governed by the same divine intelligence that creates and sustains all of life. This doesn't mean you have complete conscious control over every aspect of your physical health. Life is complex, and there are many factors that influence our well-being. But it does mean that you have access to a healing intelligence that surpasses any medical technology, any pharmaceutical intervention, any therapeutic technique. This intelligence is not something you need to earn or deserve. It's not something that exists only for special people or perfect people. It's your birthright as a living being. It's already within you, already working for your highest good, already knowing the way back to perfect health. Your job is not to create this intelligence, or control it, or direct its every action. Your job is to remember that it's there, trust its wisdom, and cooperate with its healing work. Remember this, my dear friend. You were born with a healing intelligence more sophisticated than any computer, more precise than any surgeon, more loving than any caregiver. It beats your heart right now without your conscious effort. It heals your cuts, fights infections, and regenerates your cells every moment of every day. This intelligence has never left you. It has never stopped working for your highest good. It has never given up on your perfect health. All it asks is that you remember it's there, trust its wisdom, and work with it instead of against it. When you awaken each morning, greet your body with gratitude and love. When you nourish yourself with food, water, rest, and movement, do so with appreciation for the miracle of your physical existence. When symptoms appear, listen to them with curiosity instead of fighting them with fear. Trust the process of healing, even when you can't see or understand all that's happening. Your body is constantly working to restore balance, eliminate toxins, repair damage, and maintain optimal function. Support this work with your thoughts, emotions, and choices, but don't try to micromanage the process. I now recognize and honor the divine intelligence within my body. I work with it, not against it. I listen to its wisdom, trust its process, and allow its perfect healing to flow through every cell of my being. My body knows the way back to perfect health, and I gratefully follow its guidance. I release all fear and doubt about my body's ability to heal. I release all resistance to my body's natural processes. I release all criticism and judgment of my physical form. Instead, I embrace gratitude, trust, and love for the magnificent intelligence that expresses itself as my body. Every cell in my body is filled with divine intelligence. Every organ in my body is guided by perfect wisdom. Every system in my body is supported by infinite love. I am whole. I am healthy. I am healed at the deepest level of my being. If this message has touched your heart, if it has reminded you of the miracle that you are, show me by giving this video a like. Subscribe to join our community of people who are remembering their divine nature and learning to work with the healing intelligence within them. And please, share in the comments below. What is your body trying to tell you today? What healing conversation will you begin with your physical form? Your healing journey inspires others who need to hear that they're not alone in this process of remembering and returning to wholeness. I read every comment, and I'm always amazed by the wisdom and courage of those who are willing to listen to their bodies with new ears, to approach their health with new understanding, to trust the divine intelligence that has always been their most faithful companion. Until we meet again, remember, you are already whole. You are already healed. You are already perfect expressions of divine intelligence in physical form. Trust the wisdom within you. Trust the love that created you. Trust the healing power that flows through every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of your precious existence. The divine intelligence within you knows the way. Follow its guidance with confidence, knowing that you are supported, loved, and held by the same power that creates stars and grows roses and brings new life into being every moment. Let me share with you one more profound truth about the healing intelligence within you. This intelligence doesn't just work on individual symptoms or isolated problems. It operates as a complete, integrated system that seeks to bring your entire being into perfect harmony and balance. I once worked with a man named David, who came to me with what seemed like multiple unrelated health issues. He had chronic back pain, frequent headaches, digestive problems, and recurring respiratory infections. He had seen numerous specialists, each treating their particular area of expertise, but nothing seemed to provide lasting relief. "Dr. Murphy," he said in frustration, "I feel like my whole body is falling apart. Every system seems to be breaking down at once. The doctors keep giving me different medications for different problems, but I'm not getting better. I'm just getting more confused and more sick." I looked at this dear man and saw something his specialists had missed. "David," I said, "what if all these symptoms aren't separate problems? What if they're all expressions of one underlying imbalance that your body is trying to correct?" He looked puzzled. "What do you mean?" I explained that the body always seeks wholeness and balance. When one area is out of harmony, it affects every other area. The chronic stress that was causing his back pain was also disrupting his digestion. The poor digestion was affecting his ability to absorb nutrients, which weakened his immune system and made him susceptible to infections. The infections were creating inflammation that contributed to his headaches. But here's the beautiful part. Just as imbalance in one area can affect the whole system, healing in one area can transform the entire body. The same intelligence that was creating these symptoms as warning signals could orchestrate complete healing once the underlying causes were addressed. We began working with David's body as a complete system rather than a collection of separate problems. Instead of just treating his back pain, we looked at the emotional stress he was carrying. Instead of just suppressing his digestive symptoms, we examined his relationship with nourishment and self-care. Instead of just fighting his infections, we focused on strengthening his overall vitality. David learned to communicate with his entire body as one integrated intelligence. During his morning conversations, he would place his hands on his heart and speak to his whole being. "What do you need to feel completely healthy and balanced? What changes would support healing throughout my entire system?" The answers that came were profound in their simplicity. His body needed more rest and less pushing. It needed more joy and less worry. It needed more connection with nature and less time in artificial environments. It needed more creative expression and less suppression of emotions. As David began honoring these deeper needs, something remarkable happened. His symptoms didn't just improve, they transformed completely. The back pain disappeared as he learned to release emotional burdens he'd been carrying. The headaches vanished as he reduced stress and increased joy in his life. His digestion normalized as he ate with more mindfulness and gratitude. His immune system strengthened as his overall vitality increased. Within 6 months, David was healthier than he'd been in decades. But more than that, he had developed a completely different relationship with his body. He no longer saw it as a collection of potential problems, but as one magnificent intelligence working constantly for his highest good. I used to think I had a weak body, he told me later, but I realize now that I have an incredibly intelligent body that was trying desperately to get my attention. Once I started listening and responding to what it needed, everything changed. This story illustrates something crucial about healing. Your body doesn't just want to eliminate symptoms, it wants to create optimal health, vitality, and well-being in every area of your life. The intelligence within you isn't just concerned with fixing problems, it's designed to help you thrive at the highest possible level. This brings me to another important principle. Your body's intelligence extends far beyond just physical health. It's connected to your emotional well-being, your mental clarity, your spiritual growth, and your life purpose. When you align with this intelligence, every aspect of your life begins to improve. I remember a woman named Elena who came to me suffering from what doctors called chronic fatigue syndrome. She was exhausted all the time, could barely get through her daily responsibilities, and had lost all enthusiasm for life. She had been to countless doctors and tried numerous treatments, but nothing had restored her energy. "Dr. Murphy," she said with tears in her eyes, "I used to be so vibrant and alive. I had dreams, goals, passions. Now I can barely get out of bed in the morning. I feel like I'm just surviving instead of living." As we talked, I learned that Elena's fatigue had begun shortly after she had taken a job that she disliked but felt she needed for financial security. She was spending 8 hours a day, doing work that drained her spirit, then coming home too exhausted to pursue the creative projects that had once brought her joy. "Elena," I said gently, "your body's intelligence extends to every area of your life, including your life purpose and creative expression. What if your fatigue isn't just a physical problem? What if it's your body's way of telling you that you're not living in alignment with your true nature?" She looked surprised. "You mean my body cares about my job satisfaction?" "Your body cares about everything that affects your well-being," I explained. "When you're doing work that doesn't honor your gifts and passions, when you're living in a way that doesn't align with your authentic self, your body feels that disconnection. It may create fatigue to slow you down and force you to reconsider your choices." Elena began to see her chronic fatigue not as a disease, but as a message from her deeper wisdom. Her body was trying to tell her that the life she was living wasn't sustainable, wasn't nourishing to her spirit, wasn't allowing her to express her full potential. She started having conversations with her body about more than just physical symptoms. She asked questions like, "What kind of work would energize, rather than drain me? What activities make me feel most alive and vibrant? What changes in my life would restore my natural vitality?" The answers that came were clear and consistent. Elena's body wanted her to return to her passion for art and teaching. It wanted her to spend more time in nature and less time in artificial office environments. It wanted her to surround herself with people who appreciated her creativity rather than those who only valued her productivity. Making these changes wasn't easy. Elena had to overcome fears about financial security and social expectations. But as she gradually shifted her life toward greater alignment with her authentic nature, her energy began to return. She started painting again, first just on weekends, then for a few hours each day. She began teaching art classes to children, which filled her with joy and purpose. She spent more time outdoors, letting the natural world restore her vitality. She made new friends who shared her creative interests and values. Within a year, Elena's chronic fatigue had completely disappeared. She was more energetic and vibrant than she had been in decades. But the transformation went far beyond just physical energy. Her entire life had become an expression of her authentic self, supported and guided by the intelligence within her body. "I thought my body was betraying me," she told me later. "But it was actually trying to save me from a life that wasn't really living. The fatigue forced me to slow down and listen to what my soul was trying to tell me." This story demonstrates that your body's intelligence is intimately connected to your life purpose, your authentic expression, and your spiritual well-being. When you're living in alignment with your true nature, Your body supports you with abundant energy and vitality. When you're living out of alignment, your body may create symptoms to redirect you toward a more authentic path. This understanding can transform how you approach not just health, but your entire life. Instead of seeing your body as separate from your dreams, goals, and purpose, you can recognize it as an intelligent ally that wants to help you live your most fulfilling life. Your body knows when you're in relationships that drain your energy versus those that energize you. It knows when you're in environments that support your well-being versus those that stress your system. It knows when you're engaging in activities that align with your gifts versus those that feel forced or unnatural. Pay attention to how different people, places, and activities affect your physical well-being. Notice which relationships leave you feeling energized and which leave you feeling depleted. Observe which environments make you feel vibrant and which make you feel tired or anxious. Be aware of which activities make you feel most alive and authentic. Your body is constantly giving you feedback about what supports your highest good and what doesn't. This feedback isn't just about food and exercise. It's about every choice you make, every relationship you maintain, every environment you spend time in, every activity you engage in. When you learn to read and trust this feedback, you become capable of making choices that support not just your physical health, but your complete well-being. You begin living in harmony with the intelligence that knows what's best for you at every level. Let me teach you another powerful practice that can deepen your connection with your body's wisdom. This is called the whole body wisdom check, and it can help you make better decisions about everything from daily choices to major life changes. Before making any significant decision, whether it's about food, relationships, work, or life changes, take a moment to consult your body's intelligence. Sit quietly and bring the decision to mind. Imagine yourself following through with one option, and notice how your body responds. Does your body feel expansive and energized when you imagine this choice? Does your breathing deepen and your muscles relax? Do you feel a sense of rightness and alignment? These are signs that this option is in harmony with your body's wisdom. Or does your body feel contracted and tense when you imagine this choice? Do you notice shallow breathing, muscle tension, or a sense of unease? These are signs that this option may not be aligned with your highest good. Your body's intelligence has access to information that your conscious mind might miss. It can sense the long-term consequences of choices, the hidden stresses or benefits, the alignment or misalignment with your authentic nature. This doesn't mean you should make all decisions based solely on physical sensations, but including your body's wisdom in your decision-making process can lead to choices that support your complete well-being. I remember working with a businessman named Michael who was struggling with a major career decision. He had been offered a promotion that would significantly increase his salary and status, but something didn't feel right about it. His logical mind told him he should accept the position, but he felt conflicted and uncertain. "Dr. Murphy," he said, "this promotion makes sense on paper. More money, more prestige, more opportunities. But every time I think about accepting it, I feel anxious and stressed. My stomach gets tight, my shoulders tense up, and I can't sleep well. Am I just being foolish to turn down such a good opportunity?" I taught Michael the whole body wisdom check. We sat quietly and had him imagine accepting the promotion. Immediately his breathing became shallow, his jaw clenched, and his posture became rigid. His body was clearly communicating stress and resistance. Then I had him imagine declining the promotion and exploring other options that might be more aligned with his values and interests. As he considered this possibility, his breathing deepened, his muscles relaxed, and a sense of relief washed over his face. "It's like my body knows something my mind doesn't," he said with amazement. Michael decided to trust his body's wisdom and decline the promotion. Instead, he used this experience as motivation to explore what kind of work would truly fulfill him. Eventually, he started his own consulting business, focusing on helping companies create healthier work environments for their employees. Years later, Michael told me that declining that promotion was one of the best decisions he'd ever made. His business was thriving, he was passionate about his work, and his health had never been better. His body's intelligence had guided him toward a path that served not just his financial needs, but his complete well-being. This story illustrates how your body's intelligence extends to every area of your life. It's not just concerned with physical health, it's concerned with your overall alignment, authenticity, and well-being. When you learn to trust and follow this guidance, you make choices that support your highest good at every level. Now let me share with you one of the most profound healing experiences I've ever witnessed. This story demonstrates the incredible power that becomes available when someone fully aligns with the divine intelligence within their body. I once knew a woman named Grace, who had been diagnosed with a serious illness that her doctors said was incurable. She had been given a very limited time to live and was told to prepare for the worst. Grace could have despaired, could have given up, could have focused all her energy on fighting the disease. Instead, Grace chose a different path. She decided to use this crisis as an opportunity to deepen her connection with the divine intelligence within her. She approached her illness not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a teacher that had something important to show her. Grace began spending hours each day in communion with her body, listening to its wisdom, asking what it needed, following its guidance. She discovered that her illness had developed during a period when she had been living completely out of alignment with her authentic nature. For years, she had been trying to be the person others expected her to be rather than the person she truly was. She had suppressed her creativity, ignored her intuition, and sacrificed her own needs to please others. Her body had been trying to get her attention for a long time through various smaller symptoms, but she had been too busy meeting external expectations to listen. The serious illness was her body's final attempt to force her to pay attention, to change course, to return to her authentic self. Once Grace understood this, she began making radical changes in her life. She left relationships that drained her energy and cultivated those that nourished her spirit. She stopped doing work that felt meaningless and began pursuing her passion for healing others. She started expressing her creativity through art and writing. She began honoring her intuition and making choices based on inner wisdom rather than external approval. Most importantly, Grace developed a profound love and appreciation for her body. Instead of seeing it as diseased or broken, she saw it as an intelligent teacher that had been trying to guide her toward a more authentic life. She began treating her body with the reverence and care it deserved. Grace practiced the healing techniques I've shared with you, but she took them to a much deeper level. Her daily conversations with her body became hour-long communions filled with love, gratitude, and deep listening. Her affirmations weren't just words, they were expressions of absolute faith in her body's divine intelligence. She visualized healing light flowing through her body with such clarity and conviction that she could feel it transforming her at the cellular level. She aligned every thought, every emotion, every choice with her body's highest good and her soul's authentic expression. What happened next can only be described as miraculous. Within months, her symptoms began to disappear. Her energy returned stronger than ever. Her lab tests showed dramatic improvements that amazed her doctors. Within 2 years, she was declared completely free of the illness that was supposed to have taken her life. But the most remarkable transformation wasn't physical. It was the complete renewal of Grace's entire life. She had become a different person, living authentically, purposefully, joyfully. Her healing had extended far beyond the elimination of disease to embrace every aspect of her being. Grace went on to dedicate her life to teaching others about the healing intelligence within their bodies. She became living proof that when we align completely with the divine wisdom within us, anything is possible. The illness wasn't my enemy, Grace told me years later. It was my greatest teacher. It forced me to discover who I really was and what I was really capable of. The healing wasn't just about getting rid of disease, it was about becoming who I was always meant to be. Grace's story demonstrates the ultimate potential that exists within every one of us. When we fully embrace the divine intelligence within our bodies, when we align our lives completely with this wisdom, when we live authentically and purposefully, healing becomes not just possible but inevitable. This doesn't mean that everyone will experience the same dramatic physical healing that Grace did. Each person's journey is unique, and the intelligence within us knows exactly what each individual needs for their highest good. But it does mean that profound transformation is always possible when we trust and align with the wisdom within us. Your body's intelligence isn't just trying to maintain basic function or eliminate symptoms. It's trying to help you become the fullest expression of who you're meant to be. It wants you to live with vitality, purpose, joy, and authentic self-expression. It wants you to experience the complete well-being that is your birthright. As we prepare to conclude our time together, I want you to understand that everything I've shared with you today isn't just theory or philosophy. It's practical truth that you can begin applying immediately to transform your relationship with your body and your health. The divine intelligence within you doesn't require perfect understanding or perfect practice. It only requires your willingness to remember that it's there, to listen to its guidance, and to work with it rather than against it. You don't have to heal everything at once. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. You simply have to begin where you are, with whatever challenges you're currently facing, and trust that the intelligence within you knows the way forward. Start with the simple practices I've shared. Have those morning conversations with your body. Practice gratitude for its constant work on your behalf. Listen to its signals throughout the day. Create those healing affirmations and visualizations before sleep. But most importantly, begin to see your body not as a problem to be solved or a machine to be maintained, but as a wise teacher and faithful friend that has been with you every moment of your life, working tirelessly for your highest good. When symptoms appear, instead of immediately panicking or fighting, pause and ask, "What are you trying to tell me? What do you need? How can I support your healing work?" Trust the answers that come, even if they seem simple or unexpected. When you're making decisions about food, exercise, rest, work, relationships, or any other aspect of your life, include your body's wisdom in the process. Notice how different choices affect your energy, your mood, your overall sense of well-being. Remember that healing isn't just about eliminating problems, it's about creating optimal health, vitality, and alignment at every level of your being. Your body wants you to thrive, not just survive. It wants you to experience the joy, energy, and purpose that are your natural state. Trust the process, even when you can't see immediate results. Healing often happens in layers, with each level of wellness revealing the next area that's ready for transformation. Your body's intelligence knows the perfect timing and sequence for your complete restoration. You are not a victim of genetics, age, or circumstance. You are not at the mercy of random diseases or inevitable decline. You are a spiritual being expressing yourself through a physical form, and that physical form is governed by the same divine intelligence that creates galaxies, grows forests, and brings new life into being. This intelligence has never failed you, never abandoned you, never stopped working for your highest good. It has been your most faithful companion from the moment you were conceived until this very moment. It will continue to serve you with perfect love and wisdom for as long as you inhabit this physical form. All it asks is that you remember its presence, trust its guidance, and cooperate with its healing work. When you do this, you become a living demonstration of the miraculous healing power that exists within every human being. Your healing journey may inspire others to remember their own divine nature. Your willingness to trust your body's wisdom may give others permission to do the same. Your transformation may be exactly what someone else needs to see to believe in their own healing potential. You are more powerful than you realize, more loved than you can imagine, more capable of healing and transformation than you've ever been taught. The divine intelligence within your body knows this truth and has been waiting patiently for you to remember it too. I now recognize and honor the divine intelligence within my body. I work with it, not against it. I listen to its wisdom, trust its process, and allow its perfect healing to flow through every cell of my being. My body knows the way back to perfect health, and I gratefully follow its guidance. I release all fear and doubt about my body's ability to heal. I release all resistance to my body's natural processes. I release all criticism and judgment of my physical form. Instead, I embrace gratitude, trust, and love for the magnificent intelligence that expresses itself as my body. Every cell in my body is filled with divine intelligence. Every organ in my body is guided by perfect wisdom. Every system in my body is supported by infinite love. I am whole, I am healthy, I am healed, at the deepest level of my being. The same intelligence that beats my heart, and grows my hair, and heals my wounds while I sleep, is working right now to restore perfect health to every part of my body. I trust this intelligence completely. I cooperate with its healing work joyfully. I allow its perfect love to transform every aspect of my life. I am grateful for my body's constant service, its faithful work, its intelligent guidance. I treat my body with the love, respect, and care it deserves. I listen to its wisdom and honor its needs. I create conditions that support its natural healing processes. I live in alignment with my authentic nature, expressing my true gifts, following my genuine passions, creating relationships and environments that nourish my complete well-being. My body supports me in living my fullest, most joyful life. I am a miracle of divine intelligence in physical form. My healing is natural, expected, and inevitable. All is well in my body, mind, and spirit. Perfect health is my birthright, and I claim it now with gratitude and joy. If this message has touched your heart, if it has reminded you of the miracle that you are, if it has awakened you to the healing intelligence within you, show me by giving this video a like. Your like tells me that this message has served its purpose and reached someone who needed to hear these truths. Subscribe to join our community of people who are remembering their divine nature and learning to work with the healing intelligence within them. When you subscribe, you become part of a family of souls who support each other in remembering the truth of who we are and what we're capable of. And please, share in the comments below. What is your body trying to tell you today? What healing conversation will you begin with your physical form? What changes will you make to better support your body's natural wisdom? Your insights and experiences inspire others who are on the same journey of awakening to their body's intelligence. I read every comment, and I'm always moved by the wisdom and courage of those who are willing to listen to their bodies with new ears, to approach their health with new understanding, to trust the divine intelligence that has always been their most faithful companion. Share this video with someone who needs to remember the healing power within them. Sometimes we're the messenger that someone else has been waiting for. Sometimes our willingness to share truth is exactly what opens the door for another person's healing journey to begin. Until we meet again, remember, you are already whole. You are already healed. You are already perfect expressions of divine intelligence in physical form. Trust the wisdom within you. Trust the love that created you. Trust the healing power that flows through every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of your precious existence. The divine intelligence within you knows the way. Follow its guidance with confidence, knowing that you are supported, loved, and held by the same power that creates stars and grows roses and brings new life into being every moment. You are a miracle. Your body is a miracle. Your healing is a miracle that's already in progress. Trust the process. Trust the intelligence. Trust the love. All is well, and all will be well, now and always. Go forward with this knowledge, with this truth, with this faith in the magnificent intelligence that expresses itself as your body. Let every day be a new opportunity to deepen your partnership with this wisdom. Let every moment be a chance to express gratitude for the miracle of your physical existence. Your healing journey begins now, with this recognition, with this remembering, with this return to trust in the divine intelligence within you. The intelligence that has been waiting so patiently for you to remember that you are already everything you need to be, that you already have everything you need to heal, that you are already complete and perfect and whole. Trust this truth, live this truth, be this truth, and watch as your entire life transforms in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined possible. The intelligence within you is calling you home, home to the truth of who you are, home to the power that has always been yours, home to the love that created you and sustains you every moment. Answer that call. Trust that guidance. Follow that wisdom. Your body is not just a physical vessel, it's a sacred temple housing the divine spark that is your true essence. Treat it with the reverence it deserves. Listen to it with the respect it has earned through its faithful service. Love it with the gratitude it has inspired through its constant care for you. Every morning when you wake, remember that you are waking up in a miracle. Every night when you rest, remember that you are resting in the arms of infinite intelligence. Every breath you take is a gift from the divine wisdom within you. Every heartbeat is a love letter from the intelligence that adores you. You have everything you need within you right now. The healing, the wisdom, the love, the power, it's all there, waiting for your recognition, your trust, your cooperation. You don't have to earn it or deserve it or understand it completely. You simply have to remember it and allow it. This is your birthright. This is your truth. This is your destiny, to live as a conscious expression of divine intelligence in physical form, to experience the complete health and vitality that are your natural state, to be a living demonstration of the miraculous healing power that exists within every human being. The journey continues. The healing deepens. The wisdom unfolds. And you, my dear friend, are perfectly equipped for every step of the path ahead. Trust yourself. Trust your body. Trust the divine intelligence that lives and moves and breathes as you. All is well. All is always well. And so at Island, what you're feeding me, both physically and emotionally. Notice not just what foods you're eating, but what thoughts and feelings you're consuming along with your meals. Instead of just taking medication to suppress the symptoms, you examine your relationship with food, stress, and nourishment. Headaches might be saying, "There's too much stress and tension here." Your shoulders are carrying burdens that don't belong to them. Your jaw is clenched from holding back words you need to say. Your mind is racing with worries about things you can't control. Instead of just numbing the pain, you address the underlying tension. Joint pain might be saying, "We need more movement, more flexibility, more joy in life. You've been sitting too much, worrying too much, being too rigid in your thinking and your living." Instead of just avoiding movement because it hurts, you find gentle ways to restore flexibility and flow. Skin problems might be saying, "You're trying to hold everything inside, but some things need to be expressed and released." Your boundaries aren't healthy, either too rigid or too porous. You need to let some things out and keep other things from coming in. Instead of just treating the surface symptoms, you examine your emotional boundaries and expression. Insomnia might be saying, "Your mind won't quiet because there are things you need to process and release. You're carrying too much mental and emotional clutter. You need to create more peace and stillness in your life." Instead of just taking sleeping pills, you create better mental hygiene and emotional release practices. Instead of immediately trying to silence these messages with medication or procedures, what if we first listened? What if we asked our bodies what they need? What if we treated our symptoms as information rather than enemies? I'm not against medical treatment when necessary. Modern medicine has given us miraculous tools for healing, and I'm grateful for every advance that helps reduce suffering and save lives. But I am suggesting that we include the body's own wisdom in our healing process. The doctor and the medicine work with your body's intelligence, not instead of it. When you take an antibiotic for an infection, your body still has to absorb the medicine, distribute it to the right places, use it effectively against the bacteria, and then eliminate the waste products. When you have surgery to repair an injury, your body still has to heal the incision, regenerate the damaged tissue, and restore full function to the area. The cast doesn't heal the broken bone, your body heals the bone, and the cast simply supports the process by holding everything in proper alignment. The surgeon doesn't heal the surgical wound, your body heals the wound, and the surgeon's skill simply minimizes trauma and optimizes conditions for healing. This understanding changes everything. It means you're not a victim of your body. You're not at the mercy of random diseases that attack you from nowhere. You're not helpless in the face of illness. You have a partner in healing, the most intelligent, most loving, most capable partner you could ever ask for. And that partner is already within you, already working for your highest good, already knowing the way back to perfect health. The connection between your mind and body is so intimate, so immediate, that every thought, every emotion, every belief affects your physical health. Your subconscious mind, which controls all your bodily functions, is constantly responding to the messages you send it through your thoughts and feelings. When you think thoughts of fear about your health, your subconscious mind responds by creating more tension, more stress, more problems. The stress hormones flood your system, your immune system weakens, your digestive system becomes disrupted, your sleep becomes restless, your muscles become tight, Your breathing becomes shallow. When you think thoughts of gratitude and trust about your body, your subconscious mind responds by promoting healing, relaxation, and restoration. The healing hormones are released. Your immune system strengthens. Your digestive system works smoothly. Your sleep becomes deep and restorative. Your muscles relax. Your breathing becomes full and nourishing. As within, so without. As above, so below. The ancient wisdom that tells us our outer experience reflects our inner state applies directly to our physical health. The condition of your body reflects the condition of your mind and heart. This doesn't mean you should deny real symptoms or pretend everything is fine when it's not. It doesn't mean that all illness is caused by wrong thinking or that people are to blame for their health problems. Life is complex, and there are many factors that influence our physical well-being. But it does mean you should examine the mental and emotional patterns that might be contributing to your physical challenges. It means creating harmony between your conscious and subconscious mind so they can work together for your healing instead of against each other. If you're constantly worried about your health, checking for symptoms, expecting problems, your subconscious interprets this as a command to be vigilant for trouble. It keeps your body in a state of high alert, looking for problems to justify your fears. If you're grateful for your body's strength and wisdom, if you trust its ability to heal and regenerate, if you expect wellness and vitality, your subconscious interprets this as a command to maintain and enhance that strength and wisdom. Your thoughts are not just mental events, they're creative forces that shape your physical reality. When you align your thinking with the truth of your body's healing intelligence, you create the perfect environment for miracles to happen. Now you understand the principles. But knowledge without application is like having medicine you never take. Let me show you exactly how to put this wisdom to work in your daily life, step by step, so you can begin experiencing the healing power within you immediately. Every morning before you get out of bed, have a conversation with your body. This isn't silly or unscientific. It's the most practical thing you can do for your health. Place your hands on your heart and speak to it like the dear friended island. Say something like this: "Good morning, my beautiful body. Thank you for all the healing work you did while I slept. Thank you for beating my heart over 25,000 times through the night. Thank you for breathing my breath, for filtering my blood, for healing and regenerating my cells. Thank you for digesting yesterday's food and turning it into energy and building materials. Thank you for fighting off any germs or toxins that tried to harm me. What do you need from me today?" Then listen. Don't rush to get up and start your day. In the quiet of your heart, you'll begin to hear answers. Maybe your body needs more water to help flush out toxins. Maybe it needs more rest because you've been pushing too hard. Maybe it needs more movement because you've been sitting too much. Maybe it needs more laughter because stress has been building up. Maybe it needs more love because you've been criticizing it too harshly. Trust what you hear. Your body's wisdom is far greater than your mind's worries. It has been keeping you alive every second of your existence. It knows what it needs better than any expert, any book, any program. Ask specific questions throughout this morning conversation. What does my stomach need to heal and function perfectly? How can I support my immune system today? What would make my back feel strong and flexible? What does my heart need to stay healthy and happy? Don't overthink the answers. The first gentle response you feel is usually your body's wisdom speaking. It might be an image, a feeling, a word, or simply a knowing. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. This isn't imagination or wishful thinking. This is communication with the intelligence that has been keeping you alive every second of your existence. It knows you better than anyone else ever could, because it is you at the deepest level. Throughout the day, practice gratitude for your body's constant work. Most people only pay attention to their bodies when something's wrong, but grateful hearts heal fastest. When you appreciate your body's incredible work, you create an energy of love and support that enhances every healing process. Thank your heart for beating steadily and strongly. Thank your lungs for breathing fresh oxygen into your system and removing waste carbon dioxide. Thank your digestive system for breaking down your food and extracting nutrients to feed every cell. Thank your immune system for standing guard against countless threats you're not even aware of. Thank your muscles for carrying you through your day. Thank your bones for providing structure and strength. Thank your skin for protecting you and regulating your temperature. Thank your nervous system for coordinating the millions of functions happening simultaneously in your body. Thank your liver for filtering toxins and producing essential compounds. Thank your kidneys for maintaining perfect fluid balance and removing waste. Thank your endocrine system for producing exactly the right hormones at exactly the right times. Thank your circulatory system for delivering nutrients and oxygen to every cell and carrying away waste products. Try this right now. Put your hand on your heart and feel it beating. That's not random, that's not mechanical. That's divine intelligence working through you every moment. Say, "Thank you, my dear heart, for your faithful service. I love you and I appreciate all you do for me." Feel the difference? That's the energy that heals. That's the vibration that restores. That's the love that transforms. Your body responds to love the same way a plant responds to sunlight. It opens up, it grows stronger, it becomes more beautiful. When you shower or bathe, make it a healing ritual. As the water flows over your skin, imagine it washing away not just physical dirt but also stress, tension, and negative energy. Thank each part of your body as you clean it. Send love to every organ, every system, every cell. When you eat, make it a communion with your body. Before you take the first bite, pause and ask, "What does my body need from this food?" Chew slowly and mindfully, allowing your digestive system to properly prepare for the nutrition you're providing. Don't eat while distracted by television, work, or stressful conversations. Create a peaceful environment for eating. Your digestive system works best when you're calm and focused on nourishment. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel. Not just immediately, but hours later. Your body will tell you what serves it and what doesn't. If you listen, some foods will give you sustained energy and mental clarity. Others will make you feel sluggish or agitated. Some will digest easily and leave you feeling satisfied. Others will create discomfort or cravings for more. Your body is constantly giving you feedback about what supports your health and what undermines it. But most of us have been conditioned to ignore these signals and follow external rules about what we should or shouldn't eat, rather than trusting our body's wisdom. When you exercise, approach it as a celebration of your body's capabilities rather than a punishment for what you've eaten or how you look. Move in ways that feel good to your body. If your joints are asking for gentle stretching, honor that request. If your muscles are craving strength training, provide that opportunity. If your cardiovascular system needs aerobic activity, find a way to give it what it needs. Exercise doesn't have to be formal or structured to be beneficial. Dancing in your living room, playing with children, gardening, walking in nature, swimming, yoga, any movement that brings you joy and serves your body's needs is perfect exercise. Listen to your body's signals during exercise. If something hurts in a sharp or concerning way, stop and investigate. If you feel energized and strong, continue. If you feel exhausted rather than invigorated after exercise, you may be pushing too hard or not allowing enough recovery time. Your body wants to move, wants to be strong, wants to be flexible and capable. Work with these natural desires rather than forcing yourself through punishing routines that create more stress than benefit. Before you go to sleep each night, spend a few minutes in what I call divine intelligence affirmation. This is the most powerful healing practice I can share with you. Lie quietly in your bed and repeat these words, either out loud or silently. The infinite intelligence that created my body knows exactly how to heal it perfectly. I trust this intelligence completely. I work with it, not against it. I release all resistance and allow perfect healing to flow through every cell of my being. As you say these words, visualize healing light flowing through your entire body. See it as golden, warm light that carries perfect intelligence, perfect love, perfect restoration to every part of your being. Watch this light entering through the top of your head and flowing down through your brain, bringing clarity and peace to every thought. See the healing light flowing into your eyes, bringing perfect vision and brightness. Feel it moving into your ears, bringing perfect hearing and balance. Visualize it flowing into your throat, bringing clear communication and easy breathing. Watch the light pour into your heart, filling it with love and strength, supporting perfect circulation throughout your entire body. See it flowing into your lungs, bringing deep, easy breathing and perfect oxygenation of your blood. Feel the healing light moving into your digestive system, bringing perfect assimilation of nutrients and easy elimination of waste. Visualize it flowing into your liver, supporting perfect detoxification and regeneration. See it moving into your kidneys, bringing perfect filtration and balance. Watch the light flow into your reproductive system, bringing perfect balance and function. Feel it moving into your immune system, strengthening your natural defenses against illness and disease. See it flowing into your nervous system, bringing perfect coordination and communication throughout your body. Visualize the healing light moving into your muscles, bringing strength and flexibility. See it flowing into your bones, bringing perfect structure and support. Feel it moving into your skin, bringing perfect protection and regeneration. Don't worry about whether you're doing it right or visualizing perfectly. There's no wrong way to connect with the divine intelligence within you. Your sincere intention to work with your body's wisdom is all that's needed. The intelligence itself will guide you from there. Practice this consistently, and you'll be amazed at the results. Not just physical healing, but a completely different relationship with your body. Instead of fear and frustration, you'll feel love and trust. Instead of fighting against illness, you'll be partnering with wellness. Instead of feeling helpless about your health, you'll know that you have access to the greatest healing power in the universe. Remember this, my dear friend. You were born with a healing intelligence more sophisticated than any computer, more precise than any surgeon, more loving than any caregiver. It beats your heart right now without your conscious effort. It heals your cuts, fights infections, and regenerates your cells every moment of every day. This intelligence has never left you. It has never stopped working for your highest good. It has never given up on your perfect health. All it asks is that you remember it's there, trust its wisdom, and work with it instead of against it. When you awaken each morning, greet your body with gratitude and love. When you nourish yourself with food, water, rest, and movement, do so with appreciation for the miracle of your physical existence. When symptoms appear, listen to them with curiosity instead of fighting them with fear. Trust the process of healing, even when you can't see or understand all that's happening. Your body is constantly working to restore balance, eliminate toxins, repair damage, and maintain optimal function. Support this work with your thoughts, emotions, and choices, but don't try to micromanage the process. I now recognize and honor the divine intelligence within my body. I work with it, not against it. I listen to its wisdom, trust its process, and allow its perfect healing to flow through every cell of my being. My body knows the way back to perfect health, and I gratefully follow its guidance. I release all fear and doubt about my body's ability to heal. I release all resistance to my body's natural processes. I release all criticism and judgment of my physical form. Instead, I embrace gratitude, trust, and love for the magnificent intelligence that expresses itself as my body. Every cell in my body is filled with divine intelligence. Every organ in my body is guided by perfect wisdom. Every system in my body is supported by infinite love. I am whole. I am healthy. I am healed at the deepest level of my being. The same intelligence that beats my heart, and grows my hair, and heals my wounds while I sleep, is working right now to restore perfect health to every part of my body. I trust this intelligence completely. I cooperate with its healing work joyfully. I allow its perfect love to transform every aspect of my life. I am grateful for my body's constant service, its faithful work, its intelligent guidance. I treat my body with the love, respect, and care it deserves. I listen to its wisdom and honor its needs. I create conditions that support its natural healing processes. I live in alignment with my authentic nature, expressing my true gifts, following my genuine passions, creating relationships and environments that nourish my complete well-being. My body supports me in living my fullest, most joyful life. I am a miracle of divine intelligence in physical form. My healing is natural, expected, and inevitable. All is well in my body, mind, and spirit. Perfect health is my birthright, and I claim it now with gratitude and joy. If this message has touched your heart, if it has reminded you of the miracle that you are, if it has awakened you to the healing intelligence within you, show me by giving this video a like. Your like tells me that this message has served its purpose and reached someone who needed to hear these truths. Subscribe to join our community of people who are remembering their divine nature and learning to work with the healing intelligence within them. When you subscribe, you become part of a family of souls who support each other in remembering the truth of who we are and what we're capable of. And please, share in the comments below, what is your body trying to tell you today? What healing conversation will you begin with your physical form? What changes will you make to better support your body's natural wisdom? Your insights and experiences inspire others who are on this same journey of awakening to their body's intelligence. I read every comment, and I'm always moved by the wisdom and courage of those who are willing to listen to their bodies with new ears, to approach their health with new understanding, to trust the divine intelligence that has always been their most faithful companion. Share this video with someone who needs to remember the healing power within them. Sometimes we're the messenger that someone else has been waiting for. Sometimes our willingness to share truth is exactly what opens the door for another person's healing journey to begin. Until we meet again, remember, you are already whole. You are already healed. You are already perfect expressions of divine intelligence in physical form. Trust the wisdom within you. Trust the love that created you. Trust the healing power that flows through every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of your precious existence. The divine intelligence within you knows the way. Follow its guidance with confidence, knowing that you are supported, loved, and held by the same power that creates stars, and grows roses, and brings new life into being every moment. You are a miracle. Your body is a miracle. Your healing is a miracle that's already in progress. Trust the process. Trust the intelligence. Trust the love. All is well, and all will be well. Now and always. Go forward with this knowledge, with this truth, with this faith in the magnificent intelligence that expresses itself as your body. Let every day be a new opportunity to deepen your partnership with this wisdom. Let every moment be a chance to express gratitude for the miracle of your physical existence. Your healing journey begins now, with this recognition, with this remembering, with this return to trust in the divine intelligence within you. The intelligence that has been waiting so patiently for you to remember that you are already everything you need to be, that you already have everything you need to heal, that you are already complete and perfect and whole. Trust this truth, live this truth, be this truth, and watch as your entire life transforms in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined possible. The intelligence within you is calling you home, home to the truth of who you are, home to the power that has always been yours. Home to the love that created you and sustains you every moment. Answer that call. Trust that guidance. Follow that wisdom. Your body is not just a physical vessel, it's a sacred temple housing the divine spark that is your true essence. Treat it with the reverence it deserves. Listen to it with the respect it has earned through its faithful service. Love it with the gratitude it has inspired through its constant care for you. Every morning when you wake, remember that you are waking up in a miracle. Every night when you rest, remember that you are resting in the arms of infinite intelligence. Every breath you take is a gift from the divine wisdom within you. Every heartbeat is a love letter from the intelligence that adores you. You have everything you need within you right now. The healing, the wisdom, the love, the power, it's all there waiting for your recognition, your trust, your cooperation. You don't have to earn it or deserve it or understand it completely. You simply have to remember it and allow it. This is your birthright. This is your truth. This is your destiny. To live as a conscious expression of divine intelligence in physical form, to experience the complete health and vitality that are your natural state, to be a living demonstration of the miraculous healing power that exists within every human being. The journey continues. The healing deepens. The wisdom unfolds. And you, my dear friend, are perfectly equipped for every step of the path ahead. Trust yourself. Trust your body. Trust the divine intelligence that lives and moves and breathes as you. All is well. All is always well. And so at Island.